Greetings and welcome to another Lessons with Odin. On this episode, we are going to be making some fantastically shiny things, and I really enjoyed this project. So we have a pair of earrings that are appropriately dangly for any and every occasion. I made this using the beads that were provided to me by LBeads. That was another one of those wholesale retailer sites. And I've got a link on their unboxing that I've done with them and all the stuff and the goodies that I got. So if you want to check that out, be sure to check out the card or what have yous. But in the meantime, this is the design that we are going to be creating. For this project, you will need two 12mm chatons or rivolis or cabochons, 16 4mm bicones, 48 2x3mm crystal rondelles, 6 dangly parts or drops, earring findings of your choice, size 15 seed beads, and size 11 seed beads, and of course your needle and thread. I'm using this Hercules thread and this size 12 beading needle. So this is for a pair of earrings. Divide in half if you want just a pendant. So, with all that being said, let us get started. Alright, so the first thing you are going to do is add 3 size 15s in a 2mm rondelle 6 times, giving you 6 sets. Then you're going to pass back through every single one of these beads to form a loop, then tie an overhand knot with the tail and the working thread. So you end up with a ring. We're going to pass through the next 3 size 15s and one rondelle to prepare for our next row. I'm going to add 2 size 15s, 1 size 11 seed bead, 2 size 15s, jump over until we reach the next rondelle, pull through, and repeat that all the way around. And you end up with that. I also got rid of my tail end by weaving it around and doing a couple more knots, simply because it was annoying me. Now we're going to step up for our next round. By doing that, we're going to go through 2 size 15s, then through the size 11 in the center. At this point, you may want to stick in your chaton and hold it while you complete the bezel. Be careful of the pointy end because it's not very comfortable to hold. You're going to add 1 size 15, 1 rondelle, 1 size 15, and jump over to the next size 11. Repeat that all the way around until you completed the set, and then reinforce. Alright, so that's what you end up with, and take care because this is a very loose bezel, but we're going to tighten it with our next steps. So next we're going to step up to one of the rondelles. So I am coming out of a size 11 seed bead. I'm going to pass up to the next size 15. I'm going to add 3 size 15s, then jump over the rondelle and pick up the next size 15 so that these seed beads wrap around the rondelle. Then I'm going to add 1 size 15, jump over the size 11, pass through the next size 15. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around from each size 15 around the bezel. You'll add 3, go over rondelle, add 1, go over the size 11, and so forth. Alright, so we're going to do one last thing to tighten everything up. I am coming out of a size 15 that is right next to a rondelle. I am just going to pop the point of these 3 size 15s, so I'm going to pass through 1 size 15 on top, skip over the next size 15 in the center, and go through the one after that. Then I'm going to pass through the next 2 size 15s, the one that is immediately next to the rondelle, and the one that is above the size 11 seed bead. Pick up the next size 15 to get next to the rondelle, pop the center point, and repeat all the way around. So you pop on top of the rondelle, you pass through on top of a size 11, and repeat all the way around. Alright, here's where things get fucky and obtuse. You're going to move over until you pass through one of the rondelles. You're going to then add 2 size 15s, a bicone, 2 size 15s, jump over and pass through the next rondelle on the round. Repeat that 3 more times. So you end up with that. Then you're going to move down into the bezel through a size 15 and through an 11 millimeter, size 11 seed bead. Then through another size 15 and the rondelle that's in the center. You're going to add 2 size 15s, a bicone, and 1 size 15, a rondelle, and a bicone. You're going to skip over the 15 rondelle 15 and pass back through the bicone. Add on 2 size 15s and pass back through the rondelle that you started from. Now we're going to move diagonally to the rondelle on the opposite side. So from the rondelle that we are at, I'm going to pass through a size 15 and a size 11. Pass through 2 size 15s toward the rondelle. Then you're going to add on 2 size 15s and pass through the next bicone. Add on 2 more size 15s and pass through the next rondelle on the bezel. And you'll repeat that for the remaining 3 bicones. Now, after you anchored that, we're going to move towards the back of the bezel to the rondelle that's beneath our hangy bit here. So I'm just going to use the back bezel to skip through 3 size 15s and that rondelle. I'm going to add 2 size 15s, pass up through the bicone, through the next size 15, the rondelle, go down the next size 15 and the bicone, add on 2 size 15s and pass through the opposite side of the rondelle that we started from. From there, I'm going to move up through 2 size 15s, and then through the next size 11. I'm going to add a size 15, a rondelle size 15, and pass through the bicone. Going to add 3 size 15s, a size 11, 3 size 15s, pass through the bicone again. Then I'm going to pop that center point by going up 3 size 15s, skipping over the size 11, and then going down the 3 size 15s on the other side. Pull that through, wrap around your thread so that the size 11 pops up. Pass back through the bicone. Add on 15 rondelle 15 and pass through the next bicone. Then repeat those steps to add pointy bits on all 4 bicones. Then when you reach the end and done all of your bicones, you're going to add a size 15, a rondelle size 15, and pick up the size 11 nearest the rondelle in the center where our bail is. I'm going to then move through the size 15 and rondelle next over, then move up until I reach the rondelle at the tip. Okay, then we're going to do, for the actual hangy bit, 1 unit of 2-drop double diamond right angle weave. So I'm going to add 11 size 15 seed beads and pass through the rondelle again to form a loop. Like so. Then we're going to start our fancy bits. You could leave it like this, but I like pointy things. So we're going to go through beads 1 and 2, skip over bead number 3 and go through bead number 4 and 5. Skip over bead number 6 and pass through 7 and 8. Skip over bead number 9 and pass through 10, 11, and the original rondelle. And when you've pulled that tight, you will have 3 pointy bits that kind of match the motif of the rest of the earring. Alright, so you could leave it like this because this is cute on itself, but you know me and my dangly parts, I really enjoy doing them. So, you could opt to, if you have a long enough thread, move all the way down the bezel to get to your points, but I am not about that life. So, we are going to be hanging our fringe from these 3 points, one on a bicone, the center rondelle here, and one on the next bicone over. I already got my thread going where I want it to. I'm going to thread on 3 size 15 seed beads, pass back through that size 11 that I'm coming out of. Then we're going to pop the point, passing through 1 size 15. Skip over the one in the center and pass back through the next size 15 and the size 11. Then we're going to make our way over to the center size 15. So, for the fringy bits, I'm going to add 16 size 15s, a rondelle, 5 size 15s, a bicone, 2 size 15s, a drop bead, size 15, 11, and 15. So, I'm going to skip over the 15, 11, 15, pass through the drop, 2 size 15s, the bicone, and 1 size 15 from our set of 5. I'm going to add 3 size 15s, pass through 1 size 15, a rondelle, and 2 size 15s. I'm going to add 3. I'm going to skip over 3 and then pass through the next 3. Add 3, skip over the next 3, then pass through the 3 after that. You'll go up 1 more, add on 1 size 15, then pass back through the size 15 that you started from on the opposite side. Now we're going to turn around and start popping the points on each one of these places. So I'm going to pass back through 5 size 15s, including the size 15 that is on the side from the size 15 that we started from. Then we're going to move to one side and pop the points of one set of 3. So, I move up 1, skip the next one, go down the next one, and since my needle is behaving, I might as well just pass through the next 3 size 15s. Move it around so your point becomes sharp. You're going to do the same thing here. Pass through 1, skip over the next, pass through the next one, and through 2 more size 15s and the rondelle. You'll do that once more, go through the bicone and turn, go through the bicone, the 2 size 15s, and the drop bead, turn at the size 11, go back through the bicone, and then pop the other side all the way up. From there, you can either move to the next point, which will be the rondelle in between these 2 bicones, or you can just attach a new thread. Alright, so moving through the rondelle and attaching a fringe is the same thing pretty much, except I'm going to add 5 size 15 seed beads, pass back through the rondelle, passing through 2 beads, skipping the center and passing through another 2 beads, then back through that rondelle, and move up to the tip to attach your fringe. You're also going to make this fringe 1 unit longer, meaning you're going to add another one of these squares by starting off with 21 seed beads in this section instead of 16. But the rest of the end is going to be the same thing once you've attached the fringe to that. Move up to the next size 11, add your fringe. Then you can attach your earring finding. You might need a jump ring depending on the orientation of your loops, and then you will have your completed earring. Bask in your triumph because you have completed a shiny thing. And I must say, I really like how these have turned out. There are a lot of things you can do to play with this and variations you can make. You can change the type of fringe. You could maybe add other rondelles or bicones to make it a more roundish, flowerish shape. I don't know. These kind of remind me of Ginko leaves, and I really enjoy how they turned out. So, if you make this project, be sure to share pictures, and I want to see your color combinations and what you do with this variation. The best way to do that is probably on our Facebook group at Creations from Lessons with Odin. There's a link down below if you want to join a fantastical friendly beading community. And yes, I think that will do it from me. Be sure to like up this video and subscribe if you want to see more bullshit from me. Come and check out my social medias, come and say hi, and check out what I do on the internet. And I want to thank all of my patrons over on Patreon. I really greatly appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. You help make this channel grow. So, if you also want to be a patron, come and check out my Patreon page to get exclusive tutorials once per month. There is a link in the description below, patreon.com/odins.musings. So thank you all so much for joining me, and of course, if there's anything I need to be trying out right now, feel free to let me know down below, and I will see you next time.